All right, Mark. You know what? Why don't you, as we mentioned before, a guy, a bit of an adopted Texan, someone who lived there for years, fan of Dallas sports, lover of Texas. Why don't you take us into the Ted Cruz conversation?
I do love Texas, and it's kind of frustrating watching how a lot of people talk about it because they act like, I mean, to a certain degree, we're all responsible for the government we have. But I like to remind everybody that we are, as a collective, are responsible for the death of like 2 million Iraqis and what kind of pain people should wish on us for just being born here. So a lot of people are mad at all Texans and think they deserve to start to freeze to death or whatever because they got shitty elected representatives. But so Ted Cruz, in the middle of all this, where there were like 4 million people without power the other day. So far, still about 400,000 people without power. A lot of people haven't gotten it back on, thank God. At least 20 people dead. I imagine that's a lot higher, but they don't count homeless people, and they haven't really because they can't count everybody because nobody's had phone service and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Ted Cruz decided this would be a good time to go on vacation to Cancun. All right. And this went viral. This first picture, we got posted last night. Somebody noticed Ted Cruz in the airport and saw him getting on a plane to Cancun. Now, there was some argument whether or not that was Ted Cruz because Ted Cruz has gained weight at such a rapid pace that he doesn't look like he used to. People are like, that's not Ted Cruz. He's too heavy. He's wearing glasses. The internet did what it did and matched the girl with him to looking like his daughter and his wife looking like his wife. And Ted Cruz, you can't really see close up in that photo, but he's wearing a mask that he's been wearing around the Capitol with a picture of AR on it that says "Come and take it." So that was definitely Ted Cruz.
So that Mark. Well, go ahead, but I just want everybody to know Ted Cruz has an explanation for all this. It wasn't as bad as it looks.
Well. I would get to that just a second because that was after he got caught because he went radio silent for like 14 hours, which is usually not like him because just like our friend Boebert and all that, all the other crazy right wingers in Congress and the Senate, he thinks his job is to post, and he hadn't owned anyone on Twitter in 14 hours, so he was obviously in hiding. And one thing I love about this is how confident Ted Cruz was. He could blend in an airport. But the motherfucker is so like Ted Cruz is not a normal looking person. Like he just doesn't look like a normal. Like his face looks like it was made out of mushy triangles.
Right.
It doesn't look like a regular.
It's not his face because as I referenced up top, it's a skin. So he's like Edgar from the first Men in Black movie. Like he's but a soulless reptilian creature from another dimension wearing the skin of a regular human. That's why he looks as dumpy as he does. He's also cold-blooded. Okay, and cold-blooded people cold-blooded entities don't fare well in situations like this. He had to, fly south for the winter. He needed a sun on a rock on the beach in Cancun, or the very blood in his lifeless veins might cease to flow. Also, producer Matt says, "Who hasn't wanted to show off their new mullet on a beach in Mexico?" I saw the last episode we highlighted his mullet, if that's what you could call it. But yeah, he's just just putting himself out there, Mark.
Little Jose Dirt action. But he needed a warm place to lay his eggs. I get it. He's got to release his egg sack.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, so this goes viral. He hides, hoping the internet will notice it's him. But like he's so weird looking. He gets noticed wearing a mask in an airport, catching a red-eye flight at a time when no one's looking at anyone. Right. So his plan was shitty from the beginning, but it goes viral. He goes radio silent, hoping people won't notice. He starts realizing his whole political life is falling apart. And so he catches a red eye, like a 6 a.m. flight. At 6 a.m. this morning, he booked a flight back. But he tried to act like he was always coming back today, and he's going to drop his wife and kids off.
Yeah, so let's play. Let's play his explanation clip, Matt. Perfectly reasonable.
Well, Texas is going through horrific storms, and millions of Texans.
Look at that mask. He switched masks.
Yeah, he did.
Was among them. We had no heat and no power, and
he's wearing a Texas flag mask for the podcast audience.
If they could take a trip with some friends, and Heidi and I agreed, so I flew down with them last night, dropped them off here, and now I'm headed back to Texas.
Dropped them off. That's all he was doing.
To try to get the power on. What's happening in Texas is unacceptable, and a lot of Texans are hurting.
And then ending it with that, what's happening in Texas is unacceptable. But yeah, he claims that his daughters were taking a trip, and all he was doing was escorting them and dropping them off and coming back. So many things. First of all, His wife was also with them, who, as you pointed out in our outline, Mark, she's got multiple degrees, one of which is from Harvard. So I feel like she probably could have handled it, escorting.
She's a VP at Goldman Sachs. She can get 2 kids in an airplane. The kids are 10 and 12. I've never known a 12-year-old kid to be like, Dad, I want to go to Cancun to the Ritz-Carlton. This whole fucking thing is bullshit. Doesn't make any sense.
Also, is he gonna? It's part of his to keep this story going. Is he going to have to fly back down there on Saturday or whenever and escort them back? Do you know what I mean? Like he had to escort them down there only, and they're fine on the way back. Or now is he locked in to having to fly down there, pick them up, and turn around and fly right back just to sell his bullshit story? And also, like the luggage that he was packing around. That's for literally one night because he took it with him and brought it back. I don't know why I'm putting all this effort into proving that it's bullshit when literally any sane human being knows it's bullshit. But yeah, it's bullshit. Clearly, every single thing about it is bullshit.